It's Pearl of Wisdom, and you're listening to my Electrical Pearls of Wisdom. And I'm all by myself today, as you can tell. How's everybody doing in the house? You guys watched the game last night? Colorado, Vegas? Oh my God. Oh my God. What an amazing series that is. Vegas is beating the crap out of Colorado right now. Why is my chat not working again? Why? My chat's not working again. Yeah. Let me get rid of this. Let me try that. No, I don't know. For some reason, my chat's not working. Let me see if my pop-out chat will work. Yeah, there you are. I got you on there. I'll get you up on my phone here. I don't know why that does that, but it's really annoying. Here we go. Okay, I got you. So, you're ready. How you doing, Lauren, Weichel, everybody? Welcome to the live. Montreal Canadiens could win the cup. Not so sure about that. No sound. What the heck is going on? Audio? Audio input capture? Is anybody else hearing me here? There's no reason why there should be no sound. None whatsoever. Okay, you hear me fine. Good. Anyways, Montreal for the cup. I mean, you can't. They're doing what they're doing. I mean, I would say no, but I mean, who knows what the heck Montreal can do. Corey Perry, Gallagher. I mean, as long as, but I said if Price is playing on the top of his game, Montreal could win the cup. So yes, Montreal can win the cup. If Price keeps on playing, rocking it every single game like he's doing right now, any team that plays in front of him that's, playoff worthy can win the cup. So I have to agree with you. Montreal could definitely win the cup. Are you still having problems finding it, Lauren? I really wish my chat would work. That would be cool. Now I got nothing. Let me check. Let me do something here. No. Okay, it doesn't matter. I can use the chat here. So, what do you guys think? You think Vegas now? It's Vegas, Colorado is tied at 2. Well, first of all, the big story today. People are calling about Eichel. People are calling about Buffalo for Eichel and Reinhardt and all of that right now. They're already on the phone. They're calling them up, asking for what I've probably just seen if they're available, right? Like, is there any chance that Eichel's going to be available? That's probably the question that's coming up right now with everybody, with teams. They just want to know if there's a chance that Eichel will be available eventually. That's what I think. Reinhardt, if I'm them, I mean, I would be begging Reinhardt to stay. Hopefully, I don't know. Has it gone so? Do you think these guys are going to stay? After Reinhardt's been there for, geez, let me look it up here. How long has Reinhardt been there for? Reinhardt has been, I just did a video, by the way, on Marner getting traded. You might want to check that out later. Um, Reinhardt, how long has he been with this team? He's 25 years old. He got drafted in 2014. He's been with this organization now for what? For 6 years. 7 years. 7 years he's been with this organization. If I'm him, I'm like, I want to go to, I think. He definitely wants to know their direction, but how many times has he asked that already, I imagine? I mean, he pulled up 40 points in 54 games, had 25 goals, was on a 40-goal pace last year. It's going to be a restricted free agent. I don't believe he has a no movement clause. No, he doesn't have a no movement clause. He has no clauses in his contract. So they can trade him anywhere if they have to trade him. And I wonder, basically he's saying, if he says he wants to get traded, it's like he's saying, I'll go anywhere. And even if he absolutely doesn't want to stay, Sam Reinhart, if Adams is smart, which I think he is, he'll probably work with him to go somewhere that he really kind of would like to go to in order to get the culture a little different in that room. To get players, they got to get players liking playing in Buffalo there. That's what they got to do in Buffalo. They got to get it so there are players there that actually like to play there, that respect the organization. And a lot of teams like Stevie Yzerman, whenever he makes trades, he always consults with the player involved to make sure it's good for their family, all of those sort of things like that. And if it isn't, he won't make the trade, generally speaking. And when you do that, the rest of the players that are left in the organization feels like they're valued. And I think in Buffalo, that's really where the biggest problem is first of all, the players don't believe in the organization as it is. But how much do they believe they are valued in the organization? After, basically bringing O'Reilly in for $7 million when they did, O'Reilly says a few things and he's gone. Then they trade him for Kane. Kane comes in. He's kind of an immature kid, whatever the case may be. And in no time, he's gone. Right? And then you bring in a whiny bugger like Skinner. He has one good year, and you give him a contract of a lifetime. If you're in that organization, you're going, what am I doing here? I'm not I'm sure there's players that are like, I'm not a general manager, but I'm pretty sure I could do a better job than this. So he's got a lot of things to do to prove to those guys there, the Ristolainens, Eichel, Reinhardt. I think Risto's gone this year. I think I think Ristolainen is gone. There's no two ways about it. He's pretty much gone. Kyle Okposo gone. But who's going to take him, dude? They're going to have actually give up a pick to get rid of Kyle Okposo, I think. He's making $6 million a year. Let me look it up here. I know he's making $6 million a year. Maybe they buy him out? What's their buyouts like? Buyouts. It's just paying Hodgson. The thing about getting rid of Kyle Okposo is the reason why Kyle Okposo went to Buffalo from New York is he and Eichel are really good friends. So he's got 3 years left at $6 million apiece. They're going to have to buy him out. They would have to buy him out. Now, they have a buyout thing here on Cap Friendly where it tells you what it would be like if they bought a player out. Let's see if I can find it. You can look for a player. Let's see what it would cost to buy out Kyle Okposo. But I'm looking up right now. The thing is, like I said, if you do that, it's not really pointing in a good direction to keep Eichel if you want to, because him and Eichel were really good friends. So he's got $2 million. He's still got a $2 million signing bonus remaining. To buy him out would save you $1 million this year, $3 million next year. It's not even worth it. Savings. And then the last 2 years, it actually doesn't save you much of anything at all. Yeah, that's an ugly contract. So that was a backloaded, crazy contract that's almost buyout proof. So I don't think they're buying him out. I think he's stuck there. You have no choice. Especially since he's friends with Eichel. We'll probably just keep on rolling with them, I would say. Unfortunately. You got Victor Olofsson, Cody Eakin. Cody Eakin, you can trade away. I mean, I don't even think they have cap issues, really. They've got, okay, here's what you can do. They've got is that right? $32 million in cap space coming up. They've only got to sign, wow, that's crazy. They got a ton of cap space. Franz Nielsen will probably be bought out. Buffalo's got a ton of cap space. They're going to have to sign Reinhart if he's going to sign. I bet you that's going to cost him $9 million. $9 million a year for Sam Reinhart for like the max because he's pissed off right now. That's the thing about being this crappy of an organization that you want to keep players. I mean, Sam Reinhart may not mind staying in Buffalo, but he's not going to make them know that. He's going to try to drive up his price as much as he possibly can. You know, he may not mind. His family's there. He's been there for years. You know, but he's not going to let them know that. So they're probably going to have to pay a premium to get Sam Reinhart. But they do have $30 million in cap space. Victor Olofsson doesn't need to get re-signed till the year after next. Middlestad will need a contract, but that's not going to be that much. Rasmus Dahlin. Yes. Rasmus Dahlin. That's going to be one that's going to, I don't know what they're going to get. That's going to be a tough negotiation because if I'm Dahlin's agent, anything that they say, well, you know, let's look at Dahlin's numbers here. I think they have no choice but to do a full rebuild here because they've screwed up their reputation and so bad that all their players are going to be asking for such a premium that, you know, they almost got to redo this all over again, and that is so sad for Buffalo. He had 44 points in 82 as a... '18-year-old. Can you imagine that? He had 41 points as an 18-year-old. Devondra, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Uh, yeah, he had 40 points in 59 games as a 19-year-old guy. This is a stud. You know, they're probably offering him a bridge, I guess. But I mean, you might as well sign him up. This is a stud. I just give him like $8 million for 8 years. See if he signs it. If he does, down the road, that's going to be a steal. $8 million for 8 years. No, I don't think it would be wise to have. I just did a video. I just did a video on trading Marner and stuff like that, and I talk about Wayne Simmons. He's okay. He's a fourth liner, but I mean, I wouldn't want him back. Oh, your old computer was not playing. I have to, Lauren. You got to be careful because I don't have my for some reason my stream is not showing. That doesn't have a chat again. So if you swear on there, I can't show it. I would normally just show because it comes up like, do you want to show it? I would normally just show it, but it's not letting me do it. Okay, I had to turn off the computer and restart it again. Okay, we were just talking about some Buffalo Sabres and what's going to happen. I'm signing Rasmus Dahlin long-term if I can. I'm signing Reinhart long-term if I can. And then everybody else, Eichel, I think you got to trade. I think he's done. I really do. And it's possible Reinhardt's done too. Crazy situation in Buffalo. Going for a rebuild again. I mean, really, it is absolutely nuts. You got to change the whole culture of that whole team. You got to make, they got to make players feel like they're valued. The owner's got to shut up. Carter Hutton is so gone. He's done, gone. Carter Hutton last year said his problem was that he needed surgery on his eyes. And he went and got surgery on his eyes and came back this year and was like worse. So that didn't work. Yeah, he's done. He's done in Buffalo, no doubt about it. Hey, Gibson, man, welcome. I'm going to be on Thursday with John. I'm going to do Game 6, Vegas, Colorado, Thursday night with the GOAT. So check that one out. I'll be on with them. Yeah, it is fun. I enjoy doing that with him for sure. So anyways, I talked a lot about Buffalo. I was actually talking about Marner and Toronto. And then we'll talk about the games last night. What do you guys want to talk about? Tell me. You want to talk about the games last night? Do you want to talk about, tell me in the chat. Do you think they should trade Marner? You think they should trade Marner? And I'm not even thinking like personally, I don't know if they should or not, but trading Marner I don't think is because he's a bad player. He's a 100-point winger. Yeah, John and I are on this. Seem to be on the same train together a lot. We have the same attitude about hockey and stuff like that. Thank you very much. Seal's in the house. Welcome, buddy. Welcome to the live. We're asking right now, Marner. They're talking about trading. I mean, fans want Marner out. Do you think he should trade Marner? No player is done. I think he'll play again. No problems. That is not an issue here. You don't think they should trade Marner? Yeah, you're a Toronto fan. What? Okay, so if Toronto doesn't, first of all, he's going to be fit to play. I don't think that has anything to do with that. Trade Riley. But what are you gonna? Okay, let's explore that, shall we? I thought about that too, buddy. But the problem with trading Riley, like who you got to get back another Riley. I don't know. they have no defense as it is. Who are you going to get back? Let's look at Toronto. Put me out. No, that's the thing. See, I would trade Marner. I would get, if you look at my video, I have some players that they could trade for, or non-players, or just like Detroit could take the full cap hit. I would sign Hyman, and then I'd go looking for guys like Coleman in Tampa Bay, you know, like Gallagher type players, like veterans and veterans that can play, that have lots of heart. Guys like that. But I didn't really explore, maybe I'm wrong here, but where's Toronto? Toronto. Let me bring up, let's look at this. Let's do what I've done before here. We're going to go window capture. Here we go. Here's Toronto, okay? We got Toronto up here. Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, you got Morgan Rielly. After next year, he's going to demand something in the area of $9, maybe $10 million. If the Leafs trade Rielly, they're going to rebuild. Okay. So, Morgan Rielly has put up, last year he got a little bit of 35 points in 55 games. 2 years ago, he had 72 and 82. He looks like he's around a 60-point player. Pretty solid defensively. Offensive guy. He's probably looking at about a $9 million a year contract in 2 years. Okay? The problem is, if we're looking to trade him, and well, first we'll go to Toronto. Now, we'll look at their depth chart here. Toronto's depth chart for defensemen. You've got Morgan Rielly, TJ Brody, who's 31 years old, getting up there. Jake Muzzin, Justin Holl, Sandin, and Dermott. That's awful. Who did they have injured that's not in here? Zach Bogosian, if they want to re-sign him, he's an unrestricted free agent. So if they're going to trade Morgan Rielly, they for sure need a defenseman back in return, right? They for sure need a defenseman back in return. So let's go out there and see what team would be willing to give up a young defenseman, because you're not going to get a veteran defenseman that's as good as Rielly for less money, I'm pretty sure, because why would somebody trade him that, right? Just off the top of my head, like, say you go Calgary, who has cap space, and you ask for Rasmus Anderson. I bet you they say no. Lindholm from the Ducks. Okay, let's look at that. Lindholm from the Ducks. I thought about that too, actually. Can you guys see this all right? You guys can all see this all right? Okay, good. Lindholm from the Ducks. Where's the Ducks? Actually, the Ducks' cap space is not very good. The Ducks have very little cap space, but I think they can fix that if they don't sign Ryan Getzlaf or sign him for a lot less. Backus comes off the books, but that includes that. Where the heck are they spending all their money here? Holy crap. Okay, so how come they don't have Lindholm here? Was he injured? Is Lindholm or not? How come they don't have Lindholm here? Lindholm. Jacob Larson, Walensky. What the heck? Let me look at the depth chart. If Toronto wants to be a tough team, they need a GM that looks at actual footage of a player. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they're not strong enough on the puck, Lauren. I agree. Hey, Hockey News Reports. Welcome to the live stream, my friend. Lindholm, Hampus Lindholm is 27 years old. I like him, though, for sure. His contract is up soon, so they're going to have to re-sign Lindholm. All right? He's not a bad point producer, but he's not like top-end point producer. It's really for his defense that they're really looking at to get Lindholm. Let's look at his contract. He's got... No, that's not his contract. Where's his contract? Here we go. $5 million AAV. He's finishing at $6 million in 2021. So he signed a pretty back-heavy contract. Now, how much do you think Lindholm is going to get in his next contract? I think about 7. 6.5. Let's say 6.5, okay? So you got Lindholm on the right side. That's going to be, Lindholm now is going to be your number one center, or number one defenseman, pretty much. You got to get more than that. You got to get more than that. Now, Jamie Drysdale is going to be Anaheim's number one right winger for a while. Hampus Lindholm, for one thing, is a left defenseman. That's a bit of an issue. $6 million, yeah. $6 million? I think 6, a little over 6, I think. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. About Brindamore was back on the ice next day teaching youth to kids under 10. Isn't that nice? That's awesome. So maybe you get Lindholm and then like Troy Terry and a pick. I doubt you get their first because their first is the second overall this year. Maybe their first next year. And I just mentioned that Jamie Drysdale is their number one right winger. They're going to be their future number one. I think they would be interested in this trade. I do think that. No doubt about that. But they would have to make sure that he's going to sign with them too. So you'd have to have like a trade for if he signs and a trade for if he doesn't sign, unless the agents work together and they work out a contract already before they do it. But it's not a bad place to go. I just don't know if I want Lindholm as my number one. Let's see. He's a left defenseman. So let's go back to Toronto here. Yeah, Morgan Riley's a lefty too. So he would be your number one left defenseman now. Then you get like Torrey Terry or maybe Steele or something like that, some depth and a first round pick. Something like that. I don't know. That doesn't sound like enough to me. But if they can work out a deal, maybe you can bring in more than that. Zach Hyman wants $6 million. Ouch. Yeah, Dostal will probably get a really good chance next year. Because Miller's out now. Miller's retired. So it's very possible that Dostal could have a really good chance next year. Okay. So anyways, Anaheim's a possibility. I kind of get what you're saying. You know, but I'm just not sure that I'm happy with Lindholm as my top line left winger. I really like Riley. Maybe you don't like Riley. I guess it depends on how much you value Riley. How does Anaheim value Riley? How many people out there, how many teams out there are going to give like a crap load for Riley? Like a lot. A big mittful that are, are the Rangers going to give up a mittful for Riley? Possibly. No, they don't. They don't. You're gonna have to take contracts back for that. Somebody will probably give him $6 million, Lauren. But just because he's asking 6, that doesn't mean he gets that. I think he's going to get around 5. If he goes on the open market, I think he'll get 5. What do you guys think? Zach Hyman. Hey, that's fun. Let's do that. Let's do that. Here's the thing. Here's the thing they could do. Toronto. If they trade Riley and they get nothing back, maybe they could sign Alec Martinez. But they're going to have to trade for room. But they're going to have to replace him, that type of player. So they're going to have to go after a Coleman or something like that. Like, I know, okay, let's see where Coleman's from. Maybe they got a line on Coleman. They let him go. Because Coleman's basically the same kind of player as Zach Hyman, right? And he's a free agent this year. Where's Coleman? Blake Coleman. Blake Coleman's $1.8 million. Blake Coleman had 31 points in 55 games last year. He's basically a very similar player. He's only, how old is he? He's 29 though. He's older. But you probably could get him for $3.5–4 million. Yeah, they're not, I don't think they can sign Coleman. I don't know, like, we'll look at that some other time. What could Tampa Bay do? What Tampa Bay is going to be very interesting at the end of this year. But they can let Hyman go and sign Coleman. I had a deal. I'll let you look up. I don't want to talk about it because I want you to watch the video. But no, you guys are here, so who cares? I had a deal where you trade Marner to Detroit. And basically, like, Detroit's one of the teams, someone will get injured just in time. Yeah, exactly. That is so true, buddy. You trade Marner to Detroit, and you get Tyler Bertuzzi back and draft picks. So you have, like, basically you have plenty of cap room. Then you sign Coleman, and if Hyman's asking for 6, bye-bye, you're done. You're done. Then you go look at some free agents that are coming up, and you try to fill out your roster with some other free agents, preferably wingers. I don't like Kerfoot. You could trade him away. Let's see, what do we got for wingers here coming up? I would like a guy like Jaden Schwartz would be great, but it's probably going to be too expensive for them. Like Blake Como, how old is he? Oh, he's 35, but he can still skate. Guys like that, fill your roster with some muscle. Muscle, 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 man. Fill that roster with muscle and heart. Blake Coleman, when they went to the finals, Dallas that year, he was a beast, man. Now, he's not going to get lots of points for you, but he's going to play his freaking butt off. Or maybe grab Barkley, Goudreau, and Coleman. Get them both out of Tampa Bay. They both have cups. No, we're going to look into, we got 2 hours, so I'll always talk about off-season stuff. It's fun. It won't be long before we're talking about off-season stuff with both the Canes and Winnipeg, too. So, Gusev go back to the KHL? Yeah, probably. I don't know. But maybe they could get Goudreau and Coleman. My Oilers, I want them to get them both. I want them to get both Barkley, Goudreau, and Coleman on that team. Guys like that. I want guys like that. And make room and get guys like that. Those are the guys that win cups. And next year when I'm picking freaking teams, I'm going to go with teams like that. I'm not going to make the mistake I did this year. Like, who wants Thomas Tatar? No. Tatar will do nothing for you in the playoffs. Forget about Tatar. Somebody's going to way overpay for him, like Columbus or something like that. Some team like that is going to way overpay for him. Yeah, like Martinook and McGinn, there's 2 guys. Carolina better hope that they can keep both of those guys. Martinook, McGinn, Coleman, guys like that. If you could get Nick Foligno, guys like that. Those are the guys that win cups. Alex Goligoski, yeah, he's a UFA. You know, that's probably what Toronto will do. They'll trade Riley, make some room, and then sign Alex Goligoski or something like that. Instead of Hjalmarsson. They need Hjalmarsson, and they'll get Goligoski. Wow, just straight across, Severson plus. The problem is New Jersey just needs defense so bad. I don't even know if they could do it. They just need defense. I looked at that, but they need defense so bad. Their value for defensemen on that team is way high. You get Marner, and they got a lot of guys like that anyways, but I mean, I'm sure they would listen about it. Because Marner's Marner. He's a 100-point right winger, man. There's a lot of guys, there's a lot of teams out there that's going to be looking at him for sure. Okay, so let's get, well, we talked about this for a while. It was fun. Tomorrow, what we'll do, I'm going to tell you, tomorrow in the beginning, what we're going to do is I'm going to go through all of these free agents here, and we're going to guess how much each free agent is going to get. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to play the free agent game when we get started. But now, I suppose we should get looking at the games from yesterday. Right? The games from yesterday. Sunday's games. Oh, yes, Saturday's games. What did we do? We did Friday's games and Saturday's games. Well, the Canadiens versus the Jets on Friday. The Jets just have no pushback in that series at all. Nothing. They got nothing. I'm so surprised at how little pushback they have. The Golden Knights Avalanche one, that was freaking amazing game. That was such an amazing game. That series is way better. Yeah, he's asking for a trade. I don't know what. They're going to get nothing for him. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad. They'll probably have to use him in a. They'll probably have to use him in a. I'll try to. in a like add him into a trade or something like that as an add-in. That's about all I can see going on there. But we'll quickly go over our picks from the weekend. We did this Friday, so it was Friday night. Devondra had the Canadians 3-0. H&R had 3-1 Habs. JP had 3-2 Habs. Nobody had 1-0. For the Vegas game, E-Money nails it. 3-2 Vegas E-Money. He's not here right now. He's coming on Wednesday, by the way. E-Money will be on Wednesday. We should, I hope, have Pro Joe on tomorrow. So, but the Golden Knights Avalanche game, that game was freaking amazing. Golden Knights outshot him 43-20. Bakar came out afterwards and said that after this game and said that his team does not have enough compete. And, we'll talk about it on the Saturday game or the Sunday game, I think it was, whether they responded. But Vegas is playing perfect hockey. Perfect hockey. They're not being overwhelmed by Colorado's speed. They're cutting them off. They're using quick passes out of the zone. They are all over them. They are exactly it. They are out competing the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado has more skill, no doubt about it, but they are completely out competing the Colorado Avalanche. Stevenson played 20 minutes in that game. They got an all-around performance. Dylan Sakura was playing in that game. Look at that. Cool. That's a cool thing, man. Character guy. That gives you an energy to have a guy like that. Like, that guy is like, he's not expecting to play in the playoffs. It's such a cool energy when you have a guy like a youngish kind of guy like that probably isn't going to play in the league forever. Like, this guy, talk about appreciating the moment. And that's a lot, I think, with teams that are that win cups, is they're able to appreciate the moment every game that every game that they're in. Yeah, they're exposing the Avs defense, and look at the defense they're exposing. I mean, look at these guys: Taves, Makar, Graves, Girard. I mean, that's not an easy defense to expose right there. What are you exposing? They're getting on them right away. You know, Vegas has a lot of speed. They have size, and they're hitting them like crazy. They are anticipating their plays before they do it, and quite simply, once they get into the corner, they are out. Bakar, of course, he would know, it's his team. They're out competing them. They're out competing the Avalanche right now, and it looks awesome because I like Vegas. I want Vegas to win, so it works for me. Let's look at Saturday's stuff. Saturday's games. So sad to watch the Lightning and Hurricanes. Before it started, and yes, I picked this with my heart. There's no doubt about it. But my problem was in the beginning, in the off season, and through the regular season, at the trade deadline, I'm like, get a freaking goaltender. Nedeljkovic is good, but I mean, he's still a kid. Mrazek just is garbage. I've said it all along. Everybody keeps on saying, well, Mrazek's not that bad. What are you talking about? He's brutal. He's one of the most inconsistent goaltenders in the league. I understand why people say that, though, because when he's hot, which is about 30 to 40% of the time, he looks like he can stop the world. But after a while, he starts overplaying the puck. He starts getting he goes too far out on plays. They make it really easy for you to pass to a guy beside you, and he's out of position. He's over aggressive and he's been like that ever since he was in Detroit, and they can't seem to get it out of him at all. The Lightning just consistently bad. Absolutely true. That is true. He's consistently bad. He's consistently 30 to 40% of the time a bad goaltender. For sure. What do we have here? Nobody had 6-4. Devondre had the Lightning. I had the Lightning 2-1. Nobody got the score. And finally, the Bruins and the Islanders. Great game by the Islanders. What are you going to say? You guys watch this game? The Islanders outshot them. They outplayed them a lot. They deserved to win. This is one of the few games that I would say the Islanders actually deserved to win the game. It was tight. They played them very, very well in their own barn. You can really tell the difference to Boston's defense without Carlo. Yeah. You can really tell the difference in their defense without Carlo. Carlo is big for their defense. Tenorti's okay, but he can only give you 13 minutes. He can't play against top line guys on a regular basis. He's pretty slow. He's tough, but I mean, he's like a pylon if he gets anywhere near the top line players. So yeah, having Carlo out is really is noticeable. Lazon plays very well. Grzelcyk is, he's had a good series, not spectacular, but the defense looks thin without Carlo in there. It definitely looks thin. Rask had a great game. I'm surprised Bill T's not here to talk about it. But the Islanders just played a good, solid team game all around in that one. They deserve to win, no doubt about it. And Varlamov played really well. 4-1 Islanders. Nobody had that, but E-Money and JP had the Islanders. So that's all we had for those games. We'll go to, and then the Sunday games, the Golden Knights just absolutely trounced the Avalanche. And the Canadians, the Jets have no push. They're done. Done. The Jets just have nothing. After that whole thing happened with Scheifele now, their response was terrible. Their response is so bad, I'm a little concerned for Paul Maurice and his job. Seriously. I doubt he gets fired, but I'm a little concerned because Pierre-Luc Dubois. Now, I said it when they traded him in the beginning. I said, if Tortorella doesn't like Pierre-Luc Dubois, he probably isn't very good. It always happens that way. He didn't like Johansson. Johansson wasn't very good. He didn't like Pierre-Luc Dubois. Dubois ends up being, it's not that they're not good players. They just don't have the heart, man. They just don't have the heart. I'm trying to turn off my windows here. I'll turn off my windows so I can see you guys better. There we go. Yeah, okay, let's talk about that for a bit. We got a little bit of time for the break. If Vegas is destroying Montreal, I gotta agree. But I'm not gonna say that. When I do my prediction for this, I'm gonna be like, I'm taking Vegas, but if Montreal wins, I can't be surprised now. The way they've been playing and the heart they have, I don't think anything can be surprising. I'll tell you what, the goaltending battle in that series will be insane. If it's Vegas, Colorado can come back yet. Does any okay? So who said that Montreal is going to make it to the Final Four? Bill T, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Woo! I was just talking about you, buddy. We were just talking about Boston. Okay, you're the one. Bill T said that the Habs are going to move to the Final Four. So you think the Habs are going to beat Vegas or Colorado in the next round? That's bold. But like I said, nothing can surprise me with that Habs team, really. I mean, they are playing with the heart and determination but so is Vegas. That's the thing. Vegas is playing with the same heart and determination and probably have a better team on paper. So, hard to say. I think it'll be a great series, though. I think it'll be an absolutely fantastic series. Who thinks Islanders are going to win the series now? The way things are now. I think they'll definitely put up a real good fight. There's no doubt about that. How can you, like, anybody who can undervalue the Canadians now? You know, who can underrate the Canadians now? You can't. You can't. They can go all the way. You got Price playing like that. They can go all the way when they're playing. When you're like, the same thing happened with Dallas last year, and Vegas or Tampa Bay. Well, what about Boston there, buddy? That would be one heck of a series. Vegas and Tampa Bay, if that happens. You know what? That is so close. I'm gonna keep on. I still say I'm gonna go from now on. I'm going with the Warriors. And Tampa Bay has their Warriors too, but I think Vegas has more. And for that reason, I'm going to go with Vegas to win that series. But, I mean, Tampa Bay's already done it once before, right? So, I think Bruins. I think the Bruins win tonight, but it's going to be close. This Islanders team, man, I mean, they play perfect. They play the perfect system. And they play their system perfectly. That's what I'm trying to say. They play their system perfectly all the time. Barry Trotz has that team just, everybody knows their role. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. He has people working and doing what they're supposed to do like 100% of the time, it seems. It's absolutely crazy. He's going to go down as one of the greatest coaches of all time. It's got to be Varley. Unless Varley's injured. Anybody hear that Varley's injured? I haven't even looked. Because I just assumed it was going to be Varlamov. Where's Daily Face-Off? Oh. Vegas looks fantastic. Varley is never injured? What do you mean? He's just getting rest or what? Starting goalies. We'll look him up. Varley is likely, and that usually means for sure. So Varlamov will be in. And then Hellebuck versus Price is almost a for sure. We'll be talking about, so yeah, he'll be in tonight. I still think Boston wins the series, but the Islanders are just so resilient. They never give up. They play their system perfectly. I mean, they're always a tough out, no matter what. If they lose, you got to grind every freaking minute of every game to beat the Islanders. It's amazing what they do. On paper, that Islanders team, like, I would say if that Islanders team was coached by 95% of the coaches out there in the league, and they're all great, they're not even here right now. I believe that. Yeah, that was a very tired Islanders team last year. But I thought they might be tired this year, but they weren't. Yeah, see, Trotz learned his lesson this year, and he took it easy on the players for like the last. He said he treated it like a preseason, and you said that was bullcrap. But I think what he meant by that is he let his players rest. He told them to conserve energy. What do you mean by that? Do you think he should have got more or less? Yeah, what about that play where David Krejci nails who was that in the nads? Wasn't that what it was? Is that the game where he caught him in the nads? Penguins are in a free fall. Or are they? Well, I mean, I don't think they're going to get much better than they are. I forgot what I was going to check. I was going to check something. and I can't remember what it was. Why did I all of a sudden forget? Let me just, okay, we're going to get into, I won't go too much into anything else. Unsportsmanlike contract, it's 5G. Like, can't be spearing people in the nads. Whatever. That being said, I mean, who was that anyways? Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Who was it? Because he was getting cross-checked and cross-checked and cross-checked and cross-checked. And the guy, I don't even think the other guy got a cross-checking penalty. I just can't remember who it was. And he turns around and gives him a shot right in the nats. That was freaking funny. I can't remember who it was, though. Does anybody know who it was that they did that to? He did that to? I don't know. They definitely got to do some, they got to change things around. I'm not going to say they won't. There's so many things with the Leafs. Like, what about goaltending? Is Anderson going to be okay? Was it Letty? Is Anderson going to be okay? Hey, Van Hook, you came in just before break time, dude. You're going to have to wait a little bit. But stick around, because we're going to talk about the games tonight. We're going to do our picks for our games tonight, and then we're going to talk about all the other hockey stuff we can talk about. First, Florida. Second, Boston. Third, Tampa Bay. Fourth, Toronto. I don't know about Florida. We'll see. That's interesting. That division is going to, you might have a really good point. That division is going to be freaking cray-cray. Or that, yeah. Woo! Graduation hype in the chat for Van Hook. Sweet, buddy. That's awesome. I think Vegas takes the next game too. Yeah, I think so too, but we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. Anyways, we got to get to break here. We'll be back in just a little bit. We're going to go get your doggies. Crowd around the computer. They're probably already there by now. We got a new sponsor coming too with a shorter commercial. So that'll be interesting. We got another sponsor though. That was good. Okay, I'll be back right away. Don't leave. Stick there. Stick around, guys.
Greetings. This is Steel Flyers from the Steel Flyers All Sports Network, and we have two very special guests. We are delighted to be joined by Tracy Musser and Nicole Howard from the Canine Country Club Resorts. Tracy and Nicole are both managers for CCC Resorts and work at the Windsor or at the club, one of two locations both in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Congratulations on your 30th year anniversary of being in business. Let me start off by saying this. Steel Flyer stands behind this company 100%. Taken care of Steel Flyer's furry friend for the last 2 years now, and they are a one-stop shop for everything your furry friend needs. In fact, let's find out what our friends at CCC Resorts offer. Nicole, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. What are some of the great boarding services that you guys offer, and what do we have to do in order to get our furry friends taken care of when we are unable to travel with them?
Well, we like to bring everybody in for a tour first. That way they can see the behind the scenes, they can see where they stay, they can see where they play, and then we explain all of the fun things that we can add on to their reservation, whether it be one of our packages, either a nature walk, a ball time, or even a cuddle time.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Boy, it sure sounds like a resort to me. So how are you today, Tracy?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Tracy, tell me, is it true that you guys have both an indoor and an outdoor pool at the Windsor location?
It is true. We've got one of each, so we're able to offer year-round swimming. The indoor pool is a great option for dogs who are swimming for therapy or rehab. It's got that sloped entry so they can wade into the water. Our outdoor pool is a little bit larger, and it's 4 foot deep the whole way across. And both of them are saltwater pools, so it's really easy on the dog's skin and coat.
Wow, that's very awesome. So then during the summer months, you have a much deeper pool outside and then a sloped entry shallow pool indoors for the dogs. Tracy, tell the folks how we can get some pool time.
Well, the first thing everyone does is come for an intro swim. We use that time to make sure the dog is comfortable in the water. We make sure they know how to get out of the pool safely, and we go over all the pool rules and etiquette with the clients as well. After that, they're able to schedule private appointments where they have the pool to themselves, or they can invite friends and have a whole group swim going on.
So after a dip in the pool, then it would have to be off to the groomers, right? I mean, our furry friends cannot go out looking their best. Nicole, what are some of the great services your top-notch groomers provide?
Our groomers, they specialize in full service grooms. We can do the basics, whether it be just a bath and a brush out or a blowout. Or for the extra pampered pooches, we can do nail dremels, we can do deodorizing soaks, and also facials.
Wow, man, that sounds like a resort if you ask me. Tracy, I know one of the main programs here at CCC Resorts is the WAGS program. The Steel Flyers dog is enrolled in this program. So why don't you tell the folks what is involved in this and how they can get enrolled?
Yeah, the WAGS program is our primary daycare option at the Windsor. It's designed to be a structured program for people who are looking for a set routine for their dog. They all come on the same days each week, which allows them to have set friends, and we know exactly what's going on with each group. So we do a little bit more activities, and we build more into their daily routine there. But we've got other day. We do an hourly care where you can drop them off and just pay by the hour. We also do a day stay option, which is great for the dogs that prefer human friends instead of making friends with other dogs. And then we have a traditional daycare option as well if you're looking for the occasional outing for your dog.
Wow, there you have it. A full service groomer, a daycare program, and an indoor and outdoor pool. What more could you ask for? Sure seems like CCC Resorts has everything covered. Remember, DOG, depend on God.
Be one of our packages.
All right, everybody, we are back. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, we're going to look at now the games for tonight. The games for tonight. And John from Off the Wall Hockey will be doing the games tonight. On Thursday, I'm going to be on with Off the Wall, John. I think. He didn't actually tell me. He didn't confirm it, actually. I asked him and then he didn't confirm it, so I shouldn't say that for sure. For division winners, Metro, Atlantic, Florida, Central, Colorado, Pacific, Vegas. Yeah, I'm not sure about Florida. We'll see. I like them, but I don't know if I like them to win in the regular season. I like them more in the playoffs. Okay, first game we're going to go to is Bruins versus the Islanders. We got lots of time, so we're going to talk lots about these. Bruins versus Islanders. Varlamov apparently versus Rask. Right now, Pajot has 10 points in the playoffs. Pasternak has 11. Palmieri is the leading scorer for the Islanders with 5 goals. Pasternak has 5 goals. McAvoy has 7 assists for the Boston Bruins. The Islanders, this has been just a super tight series. I like the home ice advantage for the Bruins, but I really like the Islanders' road game too. So, Van Hook, you have Van Hook and Bill T have the same score. 3-2 Bruins. 3-2 Bruins. Detroit is going to be better next year. I have a I had Detroit trading for Marner. Go check out my video I did. It's pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot. What do you guys got? All of you in the chat. It's weird. I don't know. Okay, I'll talk more about this series. The thing I'm a little concerned about this series again is not having Carlo for the Bruins. To me is a bigger loss than people realize. Their defensive depth is not the strongest. I think that's something they're going to have to do something about next year. And I don't know if they have the cap space to do it. But who's going to be taking the minutes for Carlo? A big, solid guy who skates really well. It's a huge loss. It really is a big loss for them. Mike Riley will be playing a lot. They're going to have Connor Clifton playing, but he's a left defenseman. Brandon Carlo's a righty. That's the thing. McAvoy can't play any more than he already does. I mean, he plays constantly all the time. It's going to have to be Connor Clifton. And like I said, Jared Tenorti's really got to play him sheltered minutes. So that's the issue. That's the only thing I have here with the Bruins winning is I'm a little concerned about the Islanders exposing that right side. So I think Boston's going to have to be coming back into their end. Well, Grzelcyk is also a left defenseman as well. He also puts up pretty good minutes as it is. So maybe they switch Riley over to the right. And then, I mean, Kevin Miller's hurt too. Lauzon will go to the right. Lauzon can play both sides. I don't know if it's equally well, but obviously good enough that he can do it. Lauzon, yeah, I do love Lauzon. Lauzon is such a great player. Such an underrated defenseman. So you're going to have, yeah, you do. You have Lauzon. Grzelcyk, McAvoy, Riley, Lauzon, and then just Tenorti, Clifton. And then if you go to the Islanders, but the Islanders, like, yeah, you're going to say the Islanders never have had, like, if you look on paper with the Islanders, it never, like, pops out to say, there's a cup team right there. You know, that's the thing with the Islanders. It's never been the case. Your division winners, early division winners, you guys got to put this in here. Atlantic, Tampa Bay, Metro, Carolina, Colorado Pacific, or Central Colorado, Vegas Pacific. Yeah, it does depend on what happens in the off season. Because Tampa Bay is going to lose some players for sure, right? There's no doubt about that. Yeah, doesn't happen very often. Pass to misses that for sure. The Islanders' defense, really, like when you look at their defense, Pelech underrated. Okay, I gotcha. Pulak underrated. I gotcha. Letty, okay. Good defenseman. Great defenseman? No. Mayfield? Does Mayfield play on the top four of Tampa Bay? Does Mayfield play on the top four of Carolina? No. Does Mayfield play in the top four of the Boston Bruins? Probably not. Then Green and Noah Dobson. Noah Dobson, I don't know. He should play a little more minutes than he does, I think. What did they have him playing last game? The last game they played, how much minutes did Dobson play? Oops. The last game they played was Sunday, right? No. Saturday. Right. Let's see how many minutes Dobson was playing that game. Dobson's 21 years old. He's great, but should he be playing that many minutes? I think it could still last because they still have some young players coming up pretty good. They're going to get young players for those players a lot of the time. Maybe not, though. The free agents know. So, okay, implicit comes in right when I start talking about Dobson. How many minutes are they playing Dobson? 12 minutes. They're only playing Dobson 12 minutes. They're playing Mayfield 22 minutes. Now, I've always touted Mayfield as a lot better than people thought, but 22 minutes? Wow. That is a lot. He's playing more than Pulak, more than Pelech, more than Letty. K-Swiss in the house. Yeah, I just think overall on paper, that defense doesn't scream Stanley Cup defense to me. Isles need to win in 6. Yeah, I'm hoping that they win tonight, but honestly, I'm not. I'm not super confident. I'm really not super confident. Well, that's true. I mean, like, what do you guys think? Do you think Mayfield plays in Carolina's top 4? Carolina has a great defense. Carolina's top 4. Let's bring up Carolina's top 4. Or Tampa Bay's or anybody. I mean, I'm probably underrating him. I don't watch him all the time. I know I used to sell him quite a bit. Like, he's a really good player. Do you think he does implicit? Okay, you guys could have an argument about this then. Where's Carolina? Carolina. That's the thing. You got tons of cap room in Carolina. Oh, maybe. Maybe they do. You got Brett Pesce, Slavin, Hamilton, and Shea. Is he better than Shea? Is Mayfield better than Shea? Or Jake Bean? Jake Bean, they're playing in the top 4 right now. That's tough. Canes have the best decor? Core. Best top 4 defenseman in the league. That's what you're saying. Who has the best top 4 defenseman in the league? I wouldn't say the Islanders do. Could very well be. What about Vegas? Martinez, Pietrangelo, McNabb, and Theodore. That's pretty solid top 4. That's pretty solid top 4. Who else can come close? Was Nashville at one time and not? Oh, what about Colorado? Colorado. Samuel Girard, Taves, Graves, and Makar. That's got to be the best. I love Carolina's defense, but I gotta go with Colorado. Oh yeah, if the Islanders had Slavin, oh my gosh, that would be insane. If the Islanders had Slavin, that would be insane. Yeah, Avs have the best. Nothing's beaten Girard, Taves, Graves, and then you throw Bo and Byram in there too. And Makar. I think that's the best. But Carolina's right up there for sure. The Bruins used to have close to the best. Canes and Avs, yeah. San Jose, Buffalo, definitely not. Calgary, no. Flyers, no. Nashville, no. Minnesota Wild would be up there in the top 5. Very underrated. Spurgeon, Suter, Dumba, and Brodin. That's a killer top 4. Criminally underrated, yeah. Graves is very underrated for sure. I should do that. What would be the top 4? Like, actually do the hockey guy does that, but he likes, like, that's a lot of work. If I were to go and check out every one, and then you got to write them all down, then you got to figure out, like, oh my gosh. Shannon from the hockey guy is such a hard worker. And Gravite and all the Gravite does that too. Best top 4, ranked top 1 to 31 and all that stuff like that. The Columbus Blue Jackets were pretty close for a bit there, but not anymore. Gavrikov, Jones, Werenski, and then it drops off pretty good after that. But that top 3 is pretty solid, that's for sure. Yeah, right now it's Andrew Peak. Who the heck is going to be a free agent there? Wow, that's gone downhill a lot. Remember when Winnipeg had one of the best top 4s and then everybody left? Bufflin, Myers, Morrissey, Trouba. New York Rangers will eventually, but you can't put them in there now. Trouba, Fox, Lindgren. That's really not far away. Their top 4 is getting Keandre Miller. You give that top 4 a couple of years, you got to put them right up there. Yeah, I like Keane. I don't know much about Nikishin. Honka looks okay. Yeah, I don't know what, like, I mean, if you look at the Rangers defense prospects, they got some killer prospects. Matthew Robertson, Schneider, Yegor Rykov, Hunter Skinner. Pretty solid too. And then LA, you never know what their players are going to be. They come out of nowhere. Yeah, I think he's just going to go to the KHL or something. D'Angelo, I think he's just going to end up going to the KHL. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but apparently he called out his goalie, called out Georgiev, and I don't know how he called it up. They kept it in-house. Well, whatever it was, it must have been absolutely brutal. Because, like, you're off the team, period. And nobody is even giving him a sniff. 40 to 50 point defenseman. Like 50, maybe even 60 point defenseman. And nobody is even giving him a sniff. Nobody will take him for free, nothing. So I don't know what he did there. But he must have did something and I'm sure it wasn't just that. It was probably an ongoing bunch of things. And then they traded away his buddy Lemieux not long after because they used to do podcasts together. And apparently they were big into the right-wing politics or something like that. And that was maybe annoying in the room. I don't know. I don't play sides on the political crap, but I know that if somebody does, regardless what side you're on, and you're wow about it, it's annoying as heck. So that might have something to do with it. I don't know. But whatever he did, it must have been absolutely brutal. Also, I'm just going to see here if I missed anybody as far as top 4 defense in the league is concerned. Washington Capitals, no. Yeah, Minnesota Wild, and then it drops off pretty good after that. That's why defense is like such an important position to build from. The Ottawa Senators eventually, but certainly not now. Yeah. So you got to figure the Islanders are like middle of the pack on defense. But they've got, it's hard to say because they got like Pulock and Pelech are very underrated. Mayfield's having a stellar year. When they had Tays, man, it was a lot better. Sun prospects look fantastic. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. They were great in the second half this year. So who knows what that team can be next year, really. You can't count them out next year for sure. Okay, let's look at our picks. People are starting to leave now. So that tells me you must want to do picks again. I watched the IIHF. Which prospects are you talking about? Which prospects played for Ottawa in the IIHF? Fill me in. I can't remember. Garland's Arizona, though. Brown, yeah. Garland's Arizona. Okay, picks. Jets versus Habs. No, I don't like the IHF rules. They're boring as hell. It's boring hockey. Boring hockey, and players are not held accountable for taking care of themselves. You can go into a corner and the guy can turn his back and you hit him and they give you, his back is facing right at the frickin' boards. And you got to sit there and go like this around him and like, it's just stupid. Stupid. I can't stand it. Oh, Mangiapane is not Ottawa. He is Calgary Flames' second line right winger. Great. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's worked for, he's sort of like what Verhaeghe is in Florida. Yeah, he's a second line right winger for the Calgary Flames. Mangiapane, yeah. Okay, let's do we'll talk about the game. Jets versus Canadians. I think the Jets got nothing here. They don't have nothing. If they can't come back and give like a serious effort here at the very least, then like there's something systematically wrong with the Jets team altogether. They really got to do something in the offseason to build some heart into this team. And I thought they had a lot of heart, but part of that was Scheifele, right? And once that happened, Dubois, Dubois' father works for the organization for the Winnipeg Jets. No, he's not Ottawa's. He's an older guy too. He's like 26, something like that. Dubois' father's got to sit the guy down and say, you know what, we need you to do what Tortorella was telling you to do. You left there, we're telling you the same thing here. Because he looks absolutely terrible in this series. Well, first of all, let me get Van Hook has taken the Habs 4-1. CL has taken 3-1 Habs. I didn't do a pick for the last ones, actually. Perlo, I'm going to say 3-2 Bruins. Who else has got picks for Winnipeg and yeah, I don't know what more to say. I mean, I had the Jets winning out of the North halfway through the year, and then they didn't go out and get any defensemen besides what's his name? Their leading scorer is Connor with 5 points. He's got 3 goals. Toffoli's got 8 points. Armia's got 4 goals in this, and Stahl. So they're getting points and goals, Montreal, from everybody. JP's taking 3-0 Bruins. Oh, wait, JP 3-0 Bruins. Sorry, 3-0 Bruins. I thought they were going to get some defense at the deadline, and they never did, and it sure shows here. They got to do something with that defense in the offseason, no doubt about it. They virtually, I can't remember what his name was that they got now. They got him from Vancouver. He's not good enough. It wasn't even an upgrade. It was really strange. It was just a depth move. That was about all. Yeah, shorthanded goals. Like, you're letting shorthanded goals in. They look totally disengaged and discombobulated, Winnipeg. Worse than, like, at least the Oilers look like they should have won 2 of those games. Winnipeg doesn't look like they could even come close to any games whatsoever. Jordy Ben. They picked up Jordy Ben, like 33 years old. Why even bother? You might as well play Tucker Poolman, or it was like, that was their biggest problem. They need defense so bad in Winnipeg. You gotta figure they're gonna do something in the offseason about that. Giving up shorthanded goals like nothing, looking completely disengaged in the game. It's just no excuse. It was just terrible. What happened to the Ben brothers? The Ben brothers, neither one of them were very good skaters to begin with. So, and then they lost a step. That's pretty much it. And if you're not a great skater and you lose a step, it's pretty much all downhill from there. I don't know. I'm gonna find out tomorrow, I guess. I'll do a pick for that tomorrow. I'm rooting for Vegas. I'm rooting for Vegas all the way. My team right now is Vegas because Carolina's probably not going to win in Tampa Bay. So my team will be Vegas. If Carolina happens to come back, then I'm on the fence because I'm a very Vegas and Carolina fan. But really, you're rooting for Colorado? Why? You want a Game 7, or are you a Colorado fan? Devondra 3-2 Islanders. Three-two Isles. You're the first Islanders pick, Devondra. 4-0 Montreal. Yeah, I think it's going to be like 5-0 Habs. I'm going to say 5-0 Habs. I think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think Winnipeg has got nothing. Netty's going to be in? Well, I hope so. I hope they can do it, man. I really, really hope that Carolina can take that one. Who knows? You never know. They win one, you get the ball rolling, get them back on their heels a little bit. You know, it's possible. Anything's possible in the NHL for sure. Oh, it's got to be Fleury. They got to be going with Fleury the rest of the way. Don't even think about putting Lehner in. Don't even think about it. You know, unless Lehner is unless Fleury's saying that he needs a break. But yeah, you're right though. If there's going to be a place that they want to give Fleury a break, that's probably it. But Lehner's injured, isn't he? Isn't Lehner still injured? Let me see. Don't forget to hit that like button, everybody. So I'm just getting you guys back up here on the live chat. Fleury is out because Lehner's injured, I'm sure. Where the heck's my injury? Yeah, here we are. No, he's not injured. Is Janmark going to be in tonight? Janmark won't be in. Noshik. Oh, it doesn't say anything about Noshik or... Yeah, I don't know. I think you're probably right. Lehner is a loose cannon, man. Everywhere he goes, he gets sent somewhere else. You know, like, he's a loose cannon. Yeah, if you're out there, remember to hit the like button. That helps out, gets more people in here. More people in here, the better for everybody. It's fun. It's more fun with more people. Yeah, I agree. Who's going to take Lehner now, though? Cool. Who do you think will take Lehner now? I mean, this is, how many organizations is this now? He went to Buffalo, to the Islanders, to Chicago, to Vegas, right? 4 organizations, and I think he's, 29 years old? And at $5 million a year, $5 million a year for 6 years? Yeah, I do. Vegas is a playoff team next season for sure. No doubt about it. I think you're right. I think they're going to keep Fleury. And then they're going to go searching for another goaltender. They're going to cut their losses with Lehner and move on. But I am not sure how they're going to be able to get rid of Lehner, because I think he's had enough. I think his reputation out there is not very good right now. But probably there's somebody that's going to think that they can handle Lehner, whatever his issue is. Yeah, they could sell him on Seattle, maybe. You could, but they'd have, like, Vegas doesn't have to. Vegas isn't part of the expansion draft, so they could trade him to Seattle for something, I guess. Yeah, those guys aren't good enough. Logan Thompson and Oscar Dansk isn't good enough. So they're not injured and they're not using him. So obviously there's a problem there with Lehner, right? So I don't know. I'm just trying to think of some teams that Lehner could go to that would give him a shot. And it's going to have to be, I think there's going to be a lot of teams that will tread lightly with the fact that he's had 4 teams now. They signed him to 5 years, $6 million, or 6 years, $5 million a year. Man, I don't know. They probably are going to have to, eat some of the contracts. Carolina. I know Lauren is going to lose his mind right now. Carolina. Nope. How about you trade him to Ottawa, back to Ottawa where he started for Murray? I don't think Ottawa would take him back, honestly. I don't know. How about San Jose for Jones plus? But then you're still paying goaltenders a lot of salary. Lehner to Pittsburgh. Wow. Lehner to Pittsburgh for Jari. Lehner to Pittsburgh for Jari. Maybe that's it there. If they think they can deal with his attitude or whatever's going on, that's actually a really good. The thing is they would have to go Jari plus, but Lehner started in Ottawa. They traded Lehner. Ottawa traded Lehner to Buffalo for a first, who ended up being Colin White. And everybody wondered why they were trading him. Hey, Hockey News Reports, welcome. Arizona, it's possible. And then sign Kemper instead. But Kemper's probably going to get a lot. Maybe. I don't know. I just don't think anybody's going to want that contract at that level. Like he for a loose cannon guy that seems to be like wretched in the room. I don't know. That is going to be very interesting to see. The mock draft, that's going to be tough this year because we haven't been able to watch them play, but yeah, I don't think they're going to give up a good goaltender for him. Adin Hill's a good goaltender. They would use Adin Hill as his backup, but it all depends. I don't think you're going to, let's put it this way, you're not going to get much back for him. You're probably going to have to take a bad contract back for Lehner right now. I don't think you're going to get Adin Hill. Let me see. Let's pull up Arizona here and see if they decide they think that they can help the guy, not be bothered by whatever his room antics are or whatever, his drama. He seems to have a lot of drama in his life, that guy. High maintenance dude. Oliver Ekman Larson. The thing is, you can't afford to take that contract back. Yeah, I don't think it'll go below the Devils too. But there's going to be a lot of guys there that surprise us. No, that would never happen. No way Anaheim's trading Gibson for Lehner. No way. No way. I know Gibson wants to be traded, and I think they should trade him because it's not fair to him to be in that crappy, rebuild situation right now, but they're not doing that. What is wrong with Luke Hughes? Like, why would anybody not want Luke Hughes? Gibson to the Oilers. Hockey News reports. I've never meaningfully kissed a man before, but if you were here right now, I probably would. Gibson to the Oilers makes me so happy. I would be so excited that if Gibson went to the Oilers, I don't even know if I would be able to do my show. I would probably I don't know if I could think properly for at least a couple days if Gibson went to the Oilers. Yeah, exactly. Gibson to the Sabres. No, well, sure. I mean, that would be great for, what's the difference? Oh, yeah. No. Let me see. Does he have a no trade clause? Let's see if he has. This is what I love to do. I love this. I love talking about trades and where they can go and all that kind of stuff like that. This is fun for me. Fun, fun, fun. Love it. Okay, let's bring up Anaheim. You got me all excited now. Okay, Anaheim, who doesn't have cap room, which is crazy. Does he have a no trade clause? Gibson. No, he does not have a no trade clause. He's making 6.4 million for a long time. So he couldn't say no to that trade. But if they're going to be, I think they would send him to a kind of a contender because they don't want that energy in the room knowing that they just threw Gibson aside to a team like Buffalo. It just wouldn't be good for the team. I just did one for Marner too, JP. It'll be up tonight. Yeah, I could do a video about where Lehner will be traded. No problems. For sure. That's a good video. And Gibson too. They wouldn't, I don't think, Mike Smith plus. I don't think they would do that to Mike Smith though. They could get something, but they probably wouldn't get Mike Smith because Mike Smith wants to be an Oiler. Unless he decides to do that, sometimes trades happen. You got to be careful with how you treat your players too, because it can really affect the room if you mistreat warriors like Smith. So if you treat players like commodities, free agents don't want to sign with your team. Where do I have no idea. KHL? Somebody will probably sign him for as a 1B or backup or something like that. Who would he go to? Mrazek? No, they're not brothers. So there's quite a few Smiths. Jack Eichel to Pittsburgh? How are they going to do that, though? How are they ever going to pay Phil? What would they give back? Mrazek in Buffalo? That'd be a good place for him. I think Mrazek would probably go to... Oh, probably the Calgary Flames would pick him up or something like that. They would do something like that. He's not going to make much on his next contract, I'll tell you that. He's not going to make much on his... I doubt it very much. That maybe Seattle takes Holtby off of Vancouver's hands and Vancouver signs Mrazek for $2 million a year or something like that. The Flames would probably take him. A team that was rebuilding, like really wanting to like just totally rebuild. Maybe like Columbus. Yeah, well, why would Buffalo take Malkin back though? Doesn't make much sense. He's 30-some years old, and Malkin, I'm pretty sure has a no movement clause, so there's no way Malkin's going to do that. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see Pittsburgh being a spot that's going to be able to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. Chicago, I think Chicago gets a little more space this year, though, if I remember correctly. Chicago's got what players they got coming up? Josh Dickinson. Who the heck is Josh Dickinson? Let me look it up. I'm pretty sure I think they're going to make some space here. Jack Eichel to LA makes sense, yeah. Have you watched my videos, Van Hook? I did a whole bunch of Jack Eichel traded to almost every team. I gave up on it after a while because some of the teams that were out there, it was like, no way they're going there. Who knows? I mean, too, Chicago might have some goaltender in their prospect ranks that we don't even know about, like Lankinen, but I don't think they signed Subban again, though. I think Subban's probably pretty much a third. He gets like a two-way contract somewhere or something like that. Maybe a league minimum contract and goes up and down between the minors. This was his last chance. Knowing Chicago, they go and they get Mrazek for $1 million a year, and they end up finally make him into the goaltender that everybody thought he could be. Like, Chicago's got some pretty brilliant guys in their system there. Well, he's got $10 million a year for a few years, Jack Eichel. It's a good contract. The question is the injury. They're going to have to talk to doctors. This surgery that he's going to do is a surgery that, yes, it hasn't been done before, but apparently, according to Eichel and his doctors, like, people come back from these neck injuries all the time and they're fine. According to the doctors, if they do this surgery, he'll be able to come back really fast and be okay. Yeah, So you have an argument of doctors here. Buffalo's docters say they don't like the surgery, don't do it, and Eichel's doctors had found doctors that say, and Eichel believes his doctors, and he doesn't believe Buffalo's doctors, and it's a mess. And then if that's the case, and if that can't get ironed out, they're going to have to trade him to a team that believes in Eichel's doctors, right? Now, Eichel's doctors better be correct because they're going to have a lawsuit on their hands if they're not. So maybe there's a team out there. Well, McDavid didn't get knee surgery. It was the other way around. The Oilers wanted McDavid to get surgery. McDavid did it without surgery. Go check it out on YouTube. Do YouTube McDavid's rehab. It's amazing. He did a rehab and self-healing regimen that got him back on track without surgery. And he ended up getting back faster than he would if he was on surgery, and they believe stronger than he would have been. I don't think they're trading Fleury. I don't think so. I think they're probably going to see if they can find a place for Lehner, and I don't know how possible that is. Maybe, because they got a problem. They don't want to bring back another goaltender that makes as much as Lehner. So that could be a problem. I like the one for Jari plus. They can give Jari a chance. Maybe their goaltender coaches can work with Jari and he becomes, has a rebound or whatever. And then Pittsburgh they would have to think that they can work with Lehner's whatever craziness that seems to happen with him. So, but that's going to be a very difficult trade for sure if that happens. Well, Lehner's a better goaltender, but they're who are they gonna? That's the problem. Is Philadelphia has kind of pigeonholed themselves with contracts. They got to sign Carter Hart, and who else do they have to sign there? Don't they have to try Sanheim soon and stuff? So, who do you trade out? Is anybody going to take Voracek? Really? I think Philadelphia is in a tough spot with their roster. I think, okay, somebody suggested that Toronto trades Riley. I think if Toronto trades Riley and maybe gets rid of another contract, that's the team that gets Hamilton. But it doesn't make much sense because Riley is probably as good, if not better. I like Hamilton. I don't know if you want to call him overrated or whatever, but he does seem to be a problem in the room. He can't stay in a team for very long. In this case, it might just be money orientated. But there's going to be a lot of players looking at Hamilton. Who do I think will get him? I think New Jersey Devils. The New Jersey Devils will probably give him a fair chunk. That's my pick right off the top of my head. Do you think Ryan O'Reilly gets moved this season? You know what? Bill, that I would not be surprised by that. I think St. Louis could be teetering on a rebuild right now. You are absolutely right, buddy. I never even thought about that, Bill. That's a really good point. I think they could be teetering on a rebuild right now. No, I think they'll just keep signing Talbot before they brought Lehner in there. I think you're going to have to give up more than that for Seth. And how are you going to pay Seth Jones if you do that? First, it would have to be first. But the thing is I don't think Philadelphia can sign him. They'd have to trade more players to make room for Seth Jones, which is possible. They could also trade Sanheim somewhere. They really need to get that Voracek contract off their hands. They got to get rid of the Voracek contract, but I don't know how they're going to do it. Seth Jones is a good possibility, but Seth Jones is going to want that same kind of money, Lauren. He's going to want $8 million, $9 million. Columbus, after next year on the open market, Seth Jones will get the same money as Hamilton. Yeah. I did a couple trades for Seth Jones, another one. That's another one I did. I don't know if you guys watched that or not, but oh, you guys have brought up some great trade stuff here. O'Reilly, I'd love to do that O'Reilly one. I'm not so sure Palmieri's done with the Islanders. I think they can re-sign him. I think they'll want to re-sign him. But if he doesn't go there, Boston does look like it. I think Boston's gonna sign Hall. I think Hall's gonna stay there. Minnesota, yeah. I mean, it's not a bad pickup, but I really think they got to focus on their center position this year. I don't know how to solve that because in free agency, that's what we're doing. Places where Hamilton can go. Places where Hamilton could go. Florida Panthers, if they can afford them. New Jersey Devils. They can afford them. I think that's the most likely spot. If Columbus Blue Jackets trade Seth Jones, the Columbus Blue Jackets, Hamilton to the Columbus Blue Jackets. There's 3 teams right there. Maybe I'll do this where Hamilton may go. If Philadelphia Flyers could get rid of Voracek, maybe there. And I know that there's another one, Arizona. They did some illegal stuff with prospects. They had training. They kind of had like mini training camps, or like not training, but conditioning camps when you weren't supposed to before you were supposed to, or something like that. It was illegal, whatever they did, and they got caught. So they stripped them of draft picks. It was a bad thing. It was a pretty bad thing they did, and they ended up getting. Oh shoot, I got to get going here. But anyways, 3 teams right there: Hamilton or Florida, maybe Detroit. I just don't think Stevie Y is going to want a head case like Hamilton. But New Jersey Devils, possibly. Arizona Coyotes are losing a whole bunch of defensemen this year, possibly. Florida Panthers or Columbus Blue Jackets. No way. He's not going back to Boston. No way he's going back to Boston. No, he's got a partying lifestyle, and Boston didn't want him. They told him these are the rules, whatever those were. And Boston's a clean living team. They have some pretty strict rules about what you do when you go out and all that kind of stuff like that. And if you're not willing to go with it, that's why they said he didn't want to be a Boston Bruin. So There's no way he's going back to Boston. Anyways, guys, that's my full 42. It's been awesome. This has been great. I love this, man. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to have Pro Joe on here, and we'll have more talk like this. We'll talk about our picks. We'll talk about the games. We'll talk more about off-season stuff and everything we do here at Pearls of Wisdom Industries. This has been just a blast. Be sure to check out my videos because that helps out the channel a lot too. Go over to steelflyers.com. Hitting 21,000 hits in a month. 21,000 hits in a month for Steel. That's right, I said 21,000 hits for Steel Flyers. Anyways, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Where's my thing here? Have a great day. Lots of love to ya.